And we are back. Today we got to talk about some news that the Oklahoma Sooners got about a 5-star offensive tackle. And if you're an Oklahoma fan and you follow recruiting pretty deeply, then you probably know who this kid is. You've heard about him a little bit. If you're kind of just surface level, hey, like I just tune in to hear about the big guys, well, you might not be familiar with this name because it's one that we don't necessarily talk about a ton. We primarily talk about the main three: Lamont Rogers, Ty Haywood, Michael Fasusi, and Oklahoma's chances there. But today we got to talk about this specific 5-star, and I also want to give you guys my final predictions of what I think this offensive line will look like at the end of this recruiting cycle. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But jump in the comments below. Give me your thoughts and your opinions, or maybe your predictions on what you think will be finalized for this offensive line. Additionally, if you guys have not already, we're going to do what Jay says. Wipe your feet. Let's take care of some house cleaning. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button. As we go into the SEC season, I'm going to be doing giveaways, and I want you guys to be a part of the community here, right? Learning about some of this recruiting news. And then I want us to be able to have conversations during the regular season about how Oklahoma is doing. So make sure you guys are part of this community here. That's what we are, community. But Oklahoma, they got news that 5-star offensive tackle Andrew Babalola is going to be attending the Champion Barbecue. And you might be saying, well, who's this kid? Because I know Michael Fasusi, I know Lamont Rogers, I know Ty Haywood, but like, does Oklahoma have a shot here? 100%. And in fact, I think Oklahoma at one point was the leader, but from what I've gathered, I think they're probably in a good second place in this recruitment. But this is a really interesting one for Oklahoma because Andrew Babaloa, he is 6'6", 280 pounds, out of Overland Park, Kansas, and Blue Valley Northwest High School. Dude has 35 total offers from schools like Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Miami, Michigan, Nebraska, Ole Miss, Oregon, Penn State, A&M, Tennessee, USC, Washington. That's just to name a few. As you guys can tell, the list is big. And a lot of them are from Power 4 schools, or all of them might be from Power 4 schools. But the interesting thing is when you look at his official visit list, you see 3 elite schools: Auburn, Michigan, Oklahoma. Michigan and Oklahoma are more known to be putting offensive linemen into the NFL. But then you've got 2 schools in Missouri, which I think is expected, kind of being from the neighboring state, right? Missouri would be in a recruitment like this. But then Stanford, academic-driven school. Like, when recruits put Stanford on their list, generally Stanford is in this recruitment at a high level at some point. So, interesting list of official visitors here. Auburn getting a crack at it first. Oklahoma is going to get that head-to-head matchup this season. So if he commits to Auburn, you would imagine that would come into play at some point, hopefully. Oklahoma and Michigan, though, those are the 2 that you have to look at. Michigan probably being at the top of that list, but you can't discount Missouri. Oklahoma fans know it. You can't discount Missouri in any recruitment for a Missouri or a Kansas kid. They're going to come to play, and they're going to pay. Like, they're going to pay these kids. They're going to make sure they have an opportunity to nip this class. But when you watch his film, super quick off the ball. He's got great flexibility, really good frame, and he's got the tools to go out there and be a great offensive lineman at the Power 4 level, potentially even be a bona fide starter right away. But 5-star across the board, across the composite rankings. 247 has him as the 15th ranked player. 247 composite has him at 27. On3 has him at 14. ESPN at 44. Rivals at 95. So Rivals and ESPN are a little bit behind the times there. But here's the deal. If you're Oklahoma, this is where we're going to get into the predictions. I think your 5-star you land is Michael Fasusi. But I think Oklahoma lands with 2 5-stars because Ryan Bojay is going to continue to rise through the rankings, and that man might be a bona fide 5-star by the end of it all. So there's a chance Oklahoma ends up at 2, but you might already have that second one committed in your class. So I'm going to say Michael Fasusi. Then you got to go with an upcoming commitment from Ogumoro. And Anthony Ogumoro. Remember, he just moved here from North Carolina to Elgin, Oklahoma. North Carolina's in this recruitment. Tennessee's in there. He's taking visits there, taking a visit to K-State. Oklahoma, though, I put in a prediction about a month ago. I really think Oklahoma sits solid in this recruitment. We've talked to some people in his camp. I think this is one that Oklahoma fans could be potentially expecting to land in their class. Now, looking at the rest of it, how would it shape up? In reality, I think you probably get Darius Afalava. He's a really talented 4-star offensive tackle prospect out of Utah. So, best buddies with Ogumoro. We've talked to him. Really good feeling there in that recruitment. And then, lastly, the one that I'm watching, and I'm not 100% sold on it yet, but I believe if Michael Fasusi ends up here, there's probably a good chance they could influence to get this kid an offer. And I think he's got all of the abilities to be a good offensive lineman here at Oklahoma. That's going to be Sean Hutton. Sean Hutton is teammates with Michael Fasusi down there at Louisville High School, currently has the PWO offer from Oklahoma. But I know they're kind of looking around the landscape. They're looking around for those scholarships to see what might be the best fit for Sean. Now, that's going to be it for offensive linemen. That's going to be the take. So, Fasusi, Ogumoro, Afalava, and Sean Hutton. Those are the 4 I think Oklahoma can go out there and land. Now, I will say this. Oklahoma's in a very good spot for Ty Haywood. They're also in a very good spot, apparently, for Lamont Rogers. I did not see that one coming. I'm not going to call Oklahoma landing 2 5-stars at this point because I think that's just asinine to absolutely think Oklahoma can pull that off. Because really, I mean, you've got an excellent offensive line class currently committed. And if you just add 1 or 2 more guys to that, you're going to be happy as a Sooner fan. I don't think Ty Haywood and Lamont Rogers are out of the question. But in my opinion, you land one of those 3 in Texas, A&M and Texas are going to go balls to the wall for the other 2. Not to mention, Ty Haywood has strong roots with that Alabama staff. So Alabama is right up there in that recruitment. In fact, I thought Alabama has led at certain times. Ty Haywood still has not made it back to Oklahoma since like September of last year. So that's part of the reason why I'm not confident in that recruitment. So if you're an Oklahoma fan, I really want to hear from y'all, and I want to get your perspectives on the offensive line recruiting and what Bill Beanbo has done in this class, because Bojay and Hollenbach, like those are really great additions. Like if you land Ogumoro, Afalava, Fasusi, and Hutton, we're looking at this class and we're tipping our caps to Bill Beanbo, and there shouldn't be any Bill Beanbo haters at that point. So jump in the comments below, give me your thoughts and your opinions on where you guys think this class will end for Oklahoma. Give me your predictions on who you think Oklahoma is going to land on the offensive line. And if you guys have made it this far and you guys have not already, make sure you hit that like and you hit that subscribe button.